Hello, everyone. I hope you've had a wonderful day and I hope you're ready for me because I think I wore you guys out last night. What am I talking about? I'm talking about money. I'm talking about money flow. I go over history, current events, economic and business cycles. But what's most important is I'm going to be giving you my unique, out of the box perspective on some of the things that are happening. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Tara. I'm a very intellectual and highly stimulating person. So welcome to my live stream. Welcome. So I'm going to dive right in because those who know me, you know about business and I focus straight on it. Everyone else, if you're here, welcome. You'll figure out how I run my live stream. Now, let's get started. About a week ago, Israel basically did a surprise visit. Hi, Vaughn. Israel did a surprise visit in Syria. And basically, Israel did some boom, 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 boom. Now, if you understand what I just said, you can read between the lines. Now, guys, I need you to tap the screen. This is a highly engaging live stream, highly engaging. So I'm going to ask you to support me as I give my intellect, my humor, my shade. So please tap the screen and keep up with me, okay? Show me you support me, follow my live, and just keep tapping that screen. So about a week ago, Israel did a surprise visit to Syria, and they did some pew, 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 boom, 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 read between the lines, okay? And Israel did that because they were defending a certain group within Syria. Now, after Israel did that, the Syrian president basically said, no, 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 no. You can't do that. You are destabilizing Syria further. Now, I don't particularly know how you can destabilize Rocky, but that is what the Syrian president said. The Syrian president basically told Israel, you just can't come in uninvited and do pew, 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 and destabilize our rocky country. So after that happened, I had a live stream. And in my live stream, I basically said that the Syrian president cannot just tell Israel that you can't come in and do pew, 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 pew. You actually have to offer Israel something so you can build stronger alliances in the Middle East. So what happened is that the Syrian president magically overnight, a tooth fairy came in the middle of the night. And this tooth fairy delivered a spine and a pair of balls. Okay, did you hear me? The Syrian president went to sleep and he woke up and he found underneath his pillow, he found a steel spine and an iron pair of balls. Okay, if you haven't been in my live stream, please tap the screen. Please follow me. Please show your support because I'm just getting started. All right. Now, my live stream is about money. It's about money flow, and money flow comes about with politics. It comes about with history. It comes about in many different ways. And I'm just going to throw my shade and humor in. So please follow me, support my live stream, and put on your helmet and put on your seatbelt because you're going to need it. Okay. So the tooth fairy delivered a spine and an iron pair of balls to the Syrian's interim president. Okay. And let me tell you what he's done. About a week after my live stream, where I basically told the gentleman, you got to stand up and do something. You can't just tell Israel no, and you don't have a plan to follow through and stabilize your own country. The interim president of Syria basically ambushed a group in their hideout. He basically crept in the middle of the night. He went knock, 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 and he ambushed and caught a few people who were actually destabilizing Syria. Now, why is this important? This is important because Syria has now branded itself the land of opportunity. Syria has branded itself the free trade, a world free trade hub. So this is a critical part. Now, before I actually move in and do a deep dive into my live, I need to announce something. What I have to announce is, typically when you are in my live stream, I mentally wear you guys out. By the time I'm done with you, 60 to 75 minutes later, I have exhausted you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So this is what I'm going to do. My live stream is a promotional live stream. I am promoting me. I am my brand. I am this live stream. And I am asking for you guys to take it to the next level and sponsor my mind and my mouth. This live show is important to me, and I hope it's important to you. And I'm asking you to show your support for me and my content by going to my profile, becoming a monthly member, because when you do, you get to ask me anything that you want, whether it be business related or personal related. You actually get to ask me anything you want, and I will answer you directly. I will talk about it during my live. As long as it doesn't violate any community guidelines, I will talk about it live. And if I can't talk about it live on TikTok, I will actually host a separate Zoom call in which I can dive into when I say any topic, wink, wink, I mean any topic. You can ask me anything you want. That is what you get when you become a monthly member on the website, on the web link on my profile. So please tap the screen right now. Please follow me, and please check out the link in my bio. Now, I'm going to do this one more time a few minutes later, and then I'm done because I'm getting ready to rock your world, okay? I'm getting ready to rock your world, but I want to make sure I've got that in there when you're fresh and you're bushy-tailed and you can keep up with me. Support me. I'm trying to get my HBO show, and I can't get famous without all of you, okay? I am the prize. I am what you get when you sponsor my live stream. Now, thank you for your attention. Now, Syrian's government did an ambush, okay? They went in the middle of the night, the cover of the night. They knocked on a few stones. They knocked on a few doors, and they ambushed, and they caught about 6 to 8 people. Then what happened is that the Syrian president basically said, y'all mofos got 10 days. TikTok, motherfucking TikTok. What the Syrian president has announced is that the rest of the groups who are roaming around causing discord and destabilization and is messing with Syrians' money flow, that the Syrian president said, you got 10 days to turn your booty over at the door to our government office. If you do not show up within 10 days with all your toys, wink, wink, where y'all go? Where you go? Come back to me. The Syrian government basically told the other groups that they did not ambush. Y'all got 10 days. You have 10 days to show up and join this government and help this government. Because if you do not show up, we are going to show out. Tap that screen, guys. I'm just getting started. How many different ways I got to tell y'all I'm just getting started? Tap that screen. I'm going to repeat what I said. The Syrian president, the current Syrian president, had a visitor in the middle of the night. It was the tooth fairy. But instead of delivering money for a tooth, she came with a spine and a pair of balls. The Syrian president basically ambushed, a group within Syria that's causing destabilization and that's interfering with the redevelopment and reconstruction of Syria. After they caught about 6 to 8, the Syrian president basically said, listen, I'm not playing with y'all. You've been running amok for a number of years. You have caused the Syrian government, the country of Syria, to have no GDP. You have messed up our ability to pay back our debt to the World Bank. And you have basically kept money from flowing in and out of Syria. Now that there is a new sheriff in town, which is this current president, he basically bucked up and said, look, I just told Israel, don't come in here with their surprise, pew, 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 pew. And instead, I'm going to do it myself. So the Syrian government came and ambushed a cell, snatched them out of their sleep, and basically made an announcement saying, y'all got 10 days, the rest of y'all, to figure out your life goals. And if you actually love the country of Syria, I expect your booty, both butt cheeks, to show up at the government office and agree to work with me. Because if you do not work with me, I'm going to show out on your ass. Did you hear me? Now that is a G move. I can respect that. Because that means the Syrian president is actually getting serious about the development, about the future, and about global free trade for Syria. You cannot have the type of domestic and foreign investment that's needed for Syria to put itself economically on the map without showing strength, without having a vision, and without basically laying down the law and showing you mean business and you are a powerful, influential leader. This also shows the rest of the world that it is safe for you to come to Syria. It is safe for you to invest in Syria, and you can have a reasonable expectation to have a return on your investment while doing business with Syria. Are y'all here? How many people are here? Tap the screen and follow me. I ran off a few people. That's typically what I do. Okay? The trolls can't troll, so what they do is they go someplace else. But if you're here with me, tap that screen, because I'm only 12 minutes into my live and I'm just getting started, okay? This is a very powerful move for the Syrian president. This is a positive step. If I could do backflips, I would, because this is what Syria needs to be taken seriously. And then other countries and other regions of the world will actually show up to support Syria, because Syria's location basically equates to money. Their geographical location equates to money. Now, I've talked about Syria before. I've talked about how it's been a rich, powerful, influential trade hub thousands of years ago. It's lost its way, and now it's coming back on the map, and it's at a very critical time, because Syria can actually be one of the key players to produce renewable energy for AI hubs in the Middle East. Did you hear me? A renewable energy giant for digital technologies, for a digital boom that's going to add trillions of dollars to the global economy. Come on, guys, come back. Come back. This is not your normal TikTok live. Okay, I'm here to stimulate you. I'm here to turn you inside out, upside down, and I'm going to build brain neurons for you. But I need you to show me you're here. I need you to tap the screen. I need you to follow me, and I need you to keep up with me. Are you with me? Yes. I'm an intense woman with a lot of thoughts. And the more you tap that screen, the more I'm going to rock your world, okay? This is about money. This is about money flow shifting from one region of the world to another region of the world. Why? Because they have a vision. They have strength. They are aligning themselves, and they're cutting out the bullshit that has interfered with their nation's ability to prosper. So for the Syrian president, I say kudos. It's nice to have a spine and a nice iron pair of balls, because you're going to need them. Because as Syria starts to move up on the economic ladder, and Syria starts to have a reportable GDP, what's going to happen, Syria, is you're going to have haters. You're going to have other countries that want to come in. They want to slide in. They want to move in and occupy your country with their military, or they want to monopolize your development and reconstruction. And what I'm telling you, Syria, is that you need to lay down the law. Just because a country has offered you help, it does not mean you give them free rein to do whatever they want, because there is a clear pattern of when a country that's in Asia, the Middle East, or Latin America or Africa starts to get on the right track, you have outside interference, free advice that comes in and sows discord between you, your citizens. They start planting seeds of disruption and destruction. And Syria has your timing is impeccable. As far as prosperity, as far as economic growth, your timing is impeccable. So what I'm telling you is that do not allow outside influences who's struggling with their own economy come and disrupt your economy. I'm going to say this again. There are a number of people, countries, who are trying to put their paws in Syria when Syria is getting ready to take off into space. And these so-called friends, allies of yours, have struggling economies. One is Turkey. Their inflation goes up as high as 75%, and they have a currency crisis. Yet, Turkey is knocking on the door of Syria. The U.S. has lifted all sanctions off of Syria. Why? That has never been heard of. All of a sudden, there's no sanctions. Syria can do business in the dollar. I'm telling you, the U.S. wants something. So Syria, you actually have countries like Saudi Arabia and you have countries like Qatar who's helping you get your foothold. What I'm telling you is to choose your alliances very wisely. I look at it like this. You have a bullseye. You have the center circle and you have outer rings. You can have different type of alliances. I'm just telling you, be very careful on who you have close to the hub, close to the bullseye. Because whoever you choose to put next to you, they're either going to aid you or they're going to sabotage you. And considering that Syria has been on rocky grounds economically for a few generations, I would say I would be very cautious on who I allow to influence, to build, to negotiate on your behalf. Are y'all with me? Have I fried your mind already? Okay, are you guys with me? Follow me and tap that screen. Please follow me. I'm just getting started. I'm not even preheated. Hi, Valerie. I'm just getting started. It's very critical for you to look at who you bring and who's close to you. All right. This goes whether you're personal or professional or you're a country. You're set up for success. You're setting yourself up for success, Syria. I'm telling you, you have people, countries who have not been willing to help you, all of a sudden showing up trying to be amicable. They're trying to be hospitable. They're trying to be helpful. The countries that shunned you, ignored you, are now trying to be helpful. I'm telling you, anytime someone does an about face, okay, they're two-faced. When you're dealing with something that is two-faced, I'm telling you, I don't care how much money and how many NVIDIA chips they offer, I'm telling you to proceed with caution. If you truly want Syria to be a sovereign, independent nation, I would be careful on who I accept gifts from. All right? Now, Syria's defense ministry is basically saying that they want small armed groups to dissolve and to merge with the security apparatus of Syria. I'm going to repeat. Syria's defense ministry has called for small armed groups in Syria to dissolve and merge with the government within 10 days. Now, that sounds like a brilliant strategic plan on the surface, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. How many people are here? 190. I got 190. What are we doing? You can't sleep on me. You can't sleep on me. If you're here, I need you to tap that screen. Okay? You can be quiet, but you got to engage with me. I'm sitting at 7.6K likes. You and I both know I'm a high-priced mouth. Did you hear me? I'm a high-priced mouth. And my brain is cost even more. You can't have me at 7.7K. That's disrespectful. Okay? You are in a live stream where I'm promoting my mouth and I'm sharing my thoughts, and my thoughts are usually earth-shattering. So if you're here, I welcome you here, but you got to engage with me. I'm live, you're live, we're live, we are alive. Let's tap this screen. You understand? And if you really want to support me, follow my live and become a member on my profile. Now let's get back to it. Don't fall asleep. I know it's late, but you got to keep up with me. The Syrian government has just basically said, any armed groups, we want you to turn yourself in within 10 days. Oh boy, you're right. Yes, turn yourself in within 10 days and merge with the government. Now, let me tell you something about these armed groups. These armed groups are armed for a reason. They don't like the current administration, the current regime. They are causing mayhem, ruckus, chaos for a reason. It is not to support the current president. Now, when this president basically says, the defense ministry says, you got 10 days, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tick-tick-tick-tock, that means time is ticking. They're actually asking their enemies to join the government. Now, on one hand, you would say, man, this is really diplomatic. My brain says, I call bullshit. I call bullshit. I call farm to table bullshit. It's grade A organic bullshit. I believe, you want to know what I believe? Tap that screen. If you want to know what I think, tap that screen. Okay? This is a ploy. This is a ploy. This is a ploy. This is an American scrappy ploy. This is one of America's tactics, okay? Where we pretend that we are going to ignore your transgressions and we are going to come to the table and we're going to have a conversation with you and we're going to forget that you've been naughty. And we're going to absorb you into the government and we're going to act like everything is peaches and cream. No, I believe they're trying to trick these people to show the hell up, so they can show the hell out on them. You and I both know the amount of money that's getting ready to flow into Syria. Millions, billions, trillions of dollars. And that money that's going to be pumped into Syria is going to create a massive explosion of economic prosperity. Do you actually think if it was you, let's just say it was me, I know these groups were causing me thorns in my booty, okay? Thorns in my booty, pains in my booty that have kept Syria from advancing economically and basically had Syria ostracized from the rest of the world financially. Do you actually think I would absorb these groups into my government? Do you actually think I would do that? Actually, we can't get along on any other normal circumstances. And now you're trying to convince them to come to the table, turn themselves in 10 days, and we are going to work together to uplift Syria. I'm telling you, on the surface, that is the ideal. It is an ideal. It is a grand idea. And if they could do it, great. What is the likelihood of it happening? Well, let's look at human nature. What is human nature like? Humans are petty as hell. Humans are jealous. Humans are petty. How do you think these armed groups are going to feel sitting at a table, a council, a summit, and they're looking at this interim president. They're watching his lips talk, right? He's talking to them about reconstruction, growth, and all they can see is, hi, Keith, welcome. All they can see is, why is that person sitting in the chair? Why did I turn in my arms when it's supposed to be me? Why is it him, not me? So if you actually think that this man, thank you, Crystal, if this interim president, if you actually think that he's going to absorb these armed groups into the government like nothing's happened, I'm telling you, that dream is not based on reality. It's not based on reality because humans have egos. Humans have pride. And the reason why these groups are armed, because they want their own power. If they were willing to cooperate, they would have already done it. If these armed groups were willing to work with the interim president, they would have already showed up and supported. So the fact that you have to basically flex on them and say, look, I want you to show up, but you got 10 fucking days to show the hell up or I'm going to show out. What kind of relationship is that? Is that a good relationship? Is that a good starting point for a relationship? I'm basically flexing on you to get you to turn yourself in, to expose yourself so I know who you are. I know that you're an enemy of the state, and if there's any future problems, I basically have a bullseye on your butt. Does that sound like a good starting relationship? Tap that screen if you understand what I'm saying. Tap that screen if you understand what I'm saying. Humans don't change. We're supposed to spiritually grow, but I can tell you a gnat, a fruit fly, has more spiritual growth than we as humans. So what I'm trying to tell you is that I believe it's a setup. I believe that is his goal. I believe it's an ideal. I believe it's something we can work towards. But if I actually think they're going to be absorbed into the government, when they don't support the government, they don't believe the government should have outside influence from the West, from the East, from the North, from the South. They don't want Syria to engage with the rest of the world. They have their own agenda. So if you actually think this is what's happening, I'm telling you no. I'm telling you, Syria pulled something from the U.S. playbook. Yes, it's either Britain's playbook or the U.S.'s playbook. He pulled something from the playbook, and this is a trick. It's a scheme, but it has to be done. It has to be done. Because if it's not done, Syria is going to miss its timing. It's going to disrupt its reconstruction, and it's going to mess with its ability to ride this current economic boom. Welcome to my live stream, guys. Yes, this is a promotional live. It's for my mouth, and I'm looking for people, businesses to sponsor my mouth and my brain. Why? Because it's vital. My mouth, my personality is vital to the mayhem and the mania that's happening in this world. And I have a unique point of view. And I'm asking you guys to follow me, tap the screen, and become a monthly member on that link on my profile so that you can ask me anything that you want. And trust me, I got thoughts about a lot of stuff, and it's even harder hitting. So please tap the screen, please follow me, and consider becoming a monthly member on the web link that's on my profile. Check out the link. I won't disappoint you. Trust me, I never disappoint. I bring it. You understand? If you understand me, tap that screen so I can move on, because I'm not even done. I'm not even done. I'm just getting started. If you understand me, please tap that screen. Let me know you're with me. Let me know you're with me. Tap it. Come on now. Give it to me. Give it to me. Bring me the heat. Bring me the fire. Thank you, Key. Bring me the fire. All right. Now, back on topic. They basically want any group that have weapons outside the government. Okay. They see groups with weapons that are outside the government as a huge challenge. I agree. When you have individuals running around with untracked, not non-managed, no oversight, that is a huge security risk. Because if I was a major outside investor and I wanted to come to Syria, I want to know who I'm safe with and who I'm not safe with. So the interim president, what he's doing is really smart. Now, the question I have to ask, how much do you love the Middle East and how much do you love Syria? Because if you understand the economic potential of Syria, you understand the reach, the influence that Syria can have as far as extending trade-wise with the rest of the world, you would naturally want Syria to win, right? You would naturally want to put your ego, your agenda to the side, and you would show up with peacefully, rationally, and want to uplift Syria, right? Right? Right. So it's going to remain to be seen. Can these groups put their personal agendas aside, their personal delusions, and support a greater cause? And that greater cause is Syria, and the greater cause is Syria being able to facilitate global trade. It's able to facilitate education. Perhaps I think they should. I think they could. The question is, will they? If you go back into Syria's history, you would understand the reach and influence in the impact that Syria had on the rest of the world. And they now have an opportunity to rise again like a phoenix from the ashes and help uplift the Middle East and uplift the rest of the world. Because the more money that flows through Syria is actually going to allow money flow to go to different regions throughout the world. That is the purpose of global free trade. When there's global free trade, it allows all to be uplifted instead of there being a lopsided prosperity. We have grown accustomed to certain regions of the world having wealth while other regions of the world suffer in financial destitution. But if we can actually harness the natural resources, restructure our trade, be strategically located, and put our racial, political, gender, or whatever other differences to the side, and focus on health, wealth, longevity, and then you can go home and bitch and complain, we would be a lot better off. But let's see, okay? So The Syrian government wants them to turn in their weapons. They want them to be absorbed into the government, and they want the outbreaks of violence to stop. They want the outbreaks of violence and civil unrest and attacking other people. They want it to stop. Reasonably so. But here's the thing. Why are they doing it? If you don't understand the motivation of these armed groups and what they're trying to achieve, it doesn't matter if you give them 10 days or 100 days. If you haven't satiated that fire, that beast within them, whatever's that burning desire, I'm telling you, you're going to be trying to push a boulder up a mountain. You must understand the motivation of the people that you're dealing with. And I'm telling you, it's not the love of Syria. It's their own personal version, their metaverse. They have this version of a metaverse that they want to reenact in real life. And that is what's interfering with Syria's ability. It's interfered with Syria's ability to have stability and get a foothold to economically prosper. So I'm telling the Syrian president, yes, you called them in. You've given them a deadline of 10 days. I don't know why. I don't know why you gave them 10 days. You just gave them 10 days to figure out a plan to basically counterattack you. But that's just my opinion. I wouldn't have given them 10 days. They would have barely got 10 hours. How long does it take for you to decide whether you're going to support Syria or not? I'm going to repeat. You do not give your enemies destabilizing factors 10 goddamn days to figure out a plan to come get you when you just ambushed some of their friends. So do I think they have 10 days? No, I don't think they have 10 days. I don't think they have 10 days at all. I think it sounded good. Syria's trying to be reasonable, but I think what's going on in the night behind the scenes, I don't think they have 10 days, because you and I both know you do not give someone 10 days to counter you. Very simple. They don't support you. They don't want you in power. They think you're a traitor. They think you're a sellout, and you just gave them a deadline to figure their shit out. You gave them a deadline to reposition themselves strategically someplace in Syria. So the question is, are you helping them or you're not helping them? You just gave them 10 days to figure out what they're going to do. Now, on the surface, you're telling the rest of the world, yeah, Syria, we're handling our business. We're handling our business. Yeah, we're about our business. But on the other hand, I'm looking at this saying, that's too long. How many days do you need to figure out if you support the government? If you're with the government, how long? You need 10 days? That don't sound right. If you understand me, tap that screen and follow me. Does that sound right? You know, you got groups who are causing violence in your country. You announced y'all got 10 days to turn up with your weapons and join the government. When you know they support the past regime, you know they don't support you. You just gave them 10 days to relocate. You gave them 10 days to relocate. So when you actually show up, they're not going to be there. Yes or no? Come on now. This is very simple. This is very simple. Why would you give them 10 days when you know they only need 10 minutes to disrupt a village and cause violence? They don't need 10 days. So you're giving them a chance to go hide. Yes or no? Come on now, guys. Let's get real. Tap that screen. How many people are here? 160. I got 160 people. You showing the world that you mean business. But on the surface, you're showing the world I'm standing tough. But when I peel that back and I peek behind the curtain, you just gave them 10 days to pick up, to relocate and resituate. So that when you show up and go pew, 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 nobody's going to be home. Nobody's home. Come on. Right? Right. Yeah, I see you. I see you. I see you. Somebody's playing games. Somebody is walking a tightrope. Somebody has not fully chosen if they for serious progression or they're not for serious progression. You see, talk is cheap. I follow action and I follow money. And when it doesn't make sense, my nose say, You don't give no one 10 days. You swoop in, you scoop them out, and you get about your business. I want to be clear. This is simple tactics. If you read the book, The Art of War, it's called The Element of Surprise. Where is the element of surprise? You did one ambush, just one ambush, and y'all said, ha ha. Now the rest of y'all, you got 10 days, wink, wink. You got 10 days, wink, wink. I'm going to come find you. If you don't turn yourself in, I'm going to get you. How you going to get somebody you can't find? People be on bullshit. Did you hear me? Tap that screen and follow me. This is bullshit on a scale that you probably would have never imagined. It is bullshit. I would have came in and scooped them up like an ice cream scoop in the middle of the night and say, no, now that we understand each other, give me your toys and choose what you want to do. You got 10 seconds, not 10 days. You got 10 seconds to make a decision. Are you for Syria or you're not? Because if you're for Syria, do you need more than 10 seconds to make a decision? You don't give them 10 days. Are we clear? No. So either you're trying to trap them or you're trying to help them escape. Those are the only two options. We don't have to agree, but I'm telling you, if you knew you had a possible enemy, a force that's destabilizing your company, your country, you and I both know you would not give them 10 days. You would not. You would not. Now, it sounds good to the IMF. It sounds good to the World Bank. It sounds good to the United States of America. But I'm telling you, it ain't happening. You know the nature of humans. I don't care what continent you're on, you know the nature of humans. And if someone doesn't like you and they don't support you and your vision doesn't support their vision, they're going to undermine and they're going to sabotage, okay? These groups have been threatening progress for years. For years in Syria. They've been threatening progress. So the fact that you're giving them 10 days, I see you, okay? Next, the World Bank on May 16th cleared Syria for millions in grants, budget support. This money is going to be used for reconstruction, developmental needs, and financing. The International Monetary Fund has also decided to come to Syria. The International Monetary Fund has not been in Syria for 14 goddamn years. Did you hear me? The IMF has not been in Syria for 14 years. Does that tell you what's been happening in Syria? Syria has had a loan from the World Bank that hasn't been able to be paid off in about 50 years. They couldn't pay off the loan. They have no reportable GDP. And the IMF all of a sudden is now making a visit after 14 years. The last time the IMF reported on Syria was in 2009. 2009. So now I am talking to the president of Syria. You have to decide what you're going to do. You have an opportunity of a lifetime to remake Syria and the grand economic vision, the modern day version of what it used to be in the past. But you got to decide which side of this money fence you're going to be on. Are you going to be on the broke money side? Or are you going to be on the new money, hi Dusty, the new money, the more money side? Which side of this money fence are you going to be on? Because right now, you're walking a tightrope. And the last time I heard, this is not a show. Now, this may be my show, but I'm telling you, you're not in a show. You're doing real life. You can positively impact the lives of many. Thank you, Dusty. You can impact the lives of many, many people. Thank you, Dusty. Pew, pew, you heard that? Those are fireworks, guys. You can positively impact so many lives within Syria, the Middle East, and the rest of the world. But you and I both damn know 10 days to give rebellious groups time to turn themselves in. You and I both know you're playing tricks. And tricks are for kids. Do you understand? Tricks and treats are for kids. You can't have both ways. Thank you, Keith. You can't have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. You have to decide, do you have an allegiance to your questionable past? Yes, Syrian president. Thank you. You have to decide. Do you still have an allegiance? Do you still have an allegiance to your past? Or do you have an alliance to the present and the future? This is called a decision. This is a decision that is a life-changing decision. Thank you, Dusty. You have to understand. You have an opportunity to be written in the history books. You have an opportunity to be remembered by the world as the leader that changed Syria and brought it back to its greatness. Are you actually going to succumb to past patterns of disruption and destruction just to please your homeboys or your homegirls? Or are you going to divide that line and realize I'm going to be remembered. I'm going to be adored. I'm going to be loved by future generations, by bringing the beautiful nation of Syria back to its greatness and being a global trading partner, as being a hub for foreign and domestic relations, showing the rest of the world that the Middle East, we can unite, we can do things differently, we can have a singular vision. You have to make a decision. Because once you make that decision, it will be clear on what you should or should not do. Right now, you're confused. You're confused. You're headed in the right direction, but you're confused. Now I'm done with Syria. I'm ready to change topics. Oh no, he gave me a chicken. Where's the egg, Dusty? You just gave me a chicken, a naughty chicken. Dusty, if you're going to put a chicken on my head, that chicken needs to lay a few eggs. I want some golden eggs on my head. You hear me? I want you to imagine a bonnet and I want a nest, a golden nest, and I want golden eggs in that. Can someone make that appear? Thank you, Dusty. Thank you. Eggs cost extra. Dusty, I got you. Eggs cost extra. We'll figure something out, Dusty. Thank you. And thank you, Keith. Oh, guys, I love y'all. I love you dearly. I love you. Please follow me. Please follow me and tap the screen. All right, Dusty, I'm going to earn those eggs from you. You hear me, Dusty? I'm going to get those eggs from you. Come hell or high water, I'm going to get those eggs from you. Do you hear me, Dusty? And the same applies to you, Keith, and everyone else. Thank you for your gifts. Now, let's get on to it. China and the U.S., okay? China and the U.S. calls a truce, all right? A truce. Now, this is not a real truce. This is a gangster truce. This is an OG truce, okay? But I have to give credit where credit's due. China has not messed around. And I'm going to tell you why I said that. Because they have not allowed the U.S. just to whip them around like a boomerang. And there's a lot of other countries who are regretting not using their balls. There are countries, hundreds of them, that are regretting that they did not stand on their 10 toes, hold their iron balls, and grow a steel spine also. So let me get into it, okay? China, defiant stance, and their trade talks have earned them the ability to have their tariffs go from 200+% to 145% to 50%. Now, I want you to keep in mind, China still has an export ban. I don't know what kind of trade talks are happening, but let me tell you this. China still has an export ban on critical rare minerals. Now, you have to wonder, our very strong deal-making president, why is he lowering tariffs on China? Why is he lowering tariffs on China? What exactly have I missed? There's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of huffing and puffing. There's been a lot of chest bumping. But China hasn't really given much of anything. Did you hear me? China has gone to the front of the trade talks. While there's countries who have been waiting for weeks, China has basically said, aha, I'm here. They have gotten to the front of the trade talks, and China really hasn't offered the U.S. anything. Because what does the U.S. need? The U.S. needs those critical rare minerals. The U.S. needs the critical rare minerals. China has lowered their tariffs. The U.S. has lowered their tariffs. But essentially, nothing's been done. China has not allowed the U.S. to whip them around like a dog. They have not. So now you have these other companies, these other countries wondering, maybe they should have had a much stronger stance. Maybe they should not have taken a diplomatic approach to the U.S. Why would you take a diplomatic approach to the U.S. when the U.S. is not taking a diplomatic approach to you? You got to match energy. Listen to what I said. You have to match energy. If you have someone coming to you in a very respectful, cooperative, deal-making type of relationship, then you handle them that way. But if you have someone coming out with their stick and they're whipping inside your head, why would you approach someone who's basically put their stick on the table, whacked you up the back? And I said stick. You have to read between the lines. You understand what I said. Trump came out with his stick, put his stick on the table, and turned around and whacked everybody on the ass and the head at the same time. And what did the hundreds of these countries do? You know what they did? They bent over, they took it. They came diplomatically, thinking that that would get them, that would protect them, that would help them fare well, when you still haven't been able to sit down with Trump to make a deal. Tap that screen, guys. I'm a very direct woman. I'm sorry if I have offended your sensibilities, but welcome to my live stream. I do not beat around the bush. I don't beat around the bush. Please tap that screen and follow me. China. Hi, Keith. Keith, my words get more powerful. Hi, Explorer. My words get more powerful than that. Okay, I want to tell you that right now. You have no idea. I got to follow community guidelines. Okay, you are watching a community guidelines live. What I'm trying to tell you is that as a country, hundreds of countries got mismanaged. They got mishandled. And they came to the U.S. respectful, cooperative, understanding, and willing to work with the U.S. The U.S. we're like a bull in a china shop. We're a bull in a china shop. You come into a china shop thinking if you don't move and you be polite and respectful, that the bull won't ram you? The bull is going to respect you? No, you got to match the energy that's brought to the negotiation. So these other countries who have been waiting to negotiate with Trump, let me tell you something. Trump has barely closed 5 to 10 deals. Trump has barely finalized 5 to 10 trade talk deals. That means there's over 100 countries that have been waiting weeks to speak with Trump, and he has no interest in talking to them. He has no interest in talking to them. Let me tell you what Trump is doing. Trump is negotiating with the UAE.
That's not negotiation.
Well, let's just say my moderator said that's not a negotiation, but I'm going to call it negotiation. Trump is in the Middle East. He's doing trade talks. He's also opening up billion-dollar properties. Okay? Trump is doing talks with countries that's going to allow the Trump family to open up more properties. You must look at how a person moves, because when you look at the nature of the beast, you look at how it moves, you know what type of person that you're dealing with. This man is about his money. I want you to understand what I just said. He's about his money. That is his personal money. He is making deals with people that's going to allow the Trump family to secure more property deals to build their legacy and their generational wealth. So all these other countries who have taken a diplomatic approach, who you've been waiting in line. Who in the hell waits in line? Let's get real. How many people are here?
You have 130.
I got 130. Good. I'm running people off. Who waits in line to take their turn? You are dealing with a bull in a china shop, and you are patiently waiting your turn for this gentleman to sit down with you and give you the time of day. That is not how you make a deal with a bull. Do you understand? That is one of the worst things you can do. Let me tell you why. Because the bull is not going to respect you. Because the bull would expect you to show up, to show out. The bull would expect you to flex. You can't come to a bull like a bunny rabbit. You can't come to a bull like a turtle. You got to show up like a king of the jungle. So the problem is that a number of these countries basically pussyfooted, beat around the bush, and now they're confused why they're getting shafted and overlooked by Trump. They're mad because China jumped to the front of the line, and China has been the most blatant and the most gangster with it. China just beat all of them because they stood their ground, and they've been on the U.S.'s ass. Everywhere the U.S. goes, China has been there. The U.S. is in the Middle East. Guess what? China's in the Middle East. The U.S. in South America. Guess what? China's in South America. The U.S. is in Africa. Guess what? China's in Africa. Every move the U.S. make, China is making a boss counter move, while all these other countries are waiting in line like a ticket at the meat counter. They're waiting their turn. Don't you know that's not how you do business? You should have called me. I would have showed up to the White House in my stilettos and my corset, and I would have had you a deal. Did you hear me? I would have negotiated with you. I would have been in the White House, the Oval Office, stiletto on the desk. You know what I'm saying? I would have been standing with my stiletto on the desk in a corset, and I would have had you a deal faster. Because if you really want to do a deal with a pit bull, with a bull, you got to come with it. You got to know your value. You got to know what you bring to the table, and you have to know your position in this global free trade. And I'm sorry to say, there are a number of countries who do not understand their value, their position, and how much the U.S. needs them. Because if you knew you had something the U.S. needed, you would have completely approached this conversation differently. You would have not allowed our great president to ignore you, to shaft you, and basically brush you to the side. If this was on a playground, you can't even get close to the cool club. If China's a part of the cool club. Yeah, the U.S. and China are fighting, but they're part of the cool club. You're waiting on the outside for an invite to the cool club. The only way you're going to get into the cool club is that you got to flex. You got to flex. So how do these countries fix what they've done? Well, first, you're going to have to get the respect of Trump. If Trump doesn't respect you, he's going to fling you around. If you snub Trump, he's going to have a problem with you. So even though China is snubbing the U.S., China is flexing back on the U.S. And on the surface, it looks like Trump doesn't like it, but Trump respects it. You basically are allowing Trump to push you around because you think if you're nice, the pain will go away quicker. It will be easier. No, Trump is here to bring the pain. And you have showed that you can't handle the pain, which means you can't do a deal. Because real deal makers who are difficult deal makers, guess what? They're going to squeeze you. They're going to squeeze you. They're going to turn you. They're going to do everything they can to see how tough are you and how much they can get out of you. And if you fold that fast, that basically says you prey. You got predator and prey. This is real talk. Okay? I could be standing on the street and people smell the fear. They smell the inadequacy. People can smell what you give off. So you got countries who are supposed to be making deals, allowing their childhood issues to interfere with government economic policies. I'm going to repeat what I just said. You have countries with people in leadership power who are allowing their childhood issues to interfere with their ability to make a deal. You can't bring your childhood issues into the playground when it comes to making a deal for your economy. Because you know what happens? You still have tariffs. Trump is ignoring you. Trump is closing deals in Vietnam for properties, Qatar, Dubai. He's actually sitting with China in Switzerland, and you're still waiting there for them to call your number. He's not going to call your number. Trump just said he is more than likely not going to be able to finish all these deals within 90 days. He's barely closed 5 to 10 deals. That means some of y'all will be waiting until the next administration by the time he gets to you because he has no interest in talking to you. You took what he gave you. You took it. You took it. And now that he saw that you took it, and you took it quickly, and you took it with ease, guess what he's going to do? He's not going to waste his time. Now, what do? You're going to have to do something drastic. you're going to have to do something bold. You're going to have to do something that's even more bossier, more bolder than China to get his attention. And then you know what he's going to do? He's going to hold out on you even longer. Because he thinks he can break you again. He thinks he can make you. He thinks you can break you as a country because you are already folded. So you have to decide, how much street cred do you have in regards to economic policy? Do you have the chops to withstand the U.S. snubbing you while you gain and garner the respect of the Trump administration? I'm going to repeat what I said. In order for you to gain the attention of this man, you must have something he needs and wants to help the U.S. economy and or help the Trump family get another property. If you determine that you actually have something of value that the Trump family wants or the Trump administration wants, then you got to get boss with it. And you got to stand your ground, which means you need to have relations with other countries around the world so that you can weather this economic blow that's going to come. If you do not put up a fight and you do not stand your ground and you do not command the attention and respect of the United States president, you're going to be in for a rocky ride and you're going to be basically silenced. Silence. This is what happens when you allow people to bum rush you. You allow them to run over you. You allow them to step on you. They take advantage of you. They discard you. They ignore you, and they do what they want with you. And this is no different whether it's a person or it's a country, because this is how it's playing out. So now you have these countries who took a diplomatic approach. They're questioning if they took the right path. I'm here to tell you, you took the wrong path. You took the wrong path. You came in trying to be nice, and you're dealing with a dragon. You're dealing with a dragon. Yes, you've recently seen a dragon on my head, right? Have you seen a dragon on my head? Dusty puts a dragon on me very regularly. I blow fire. When you're dealing with someone that blows fire, you either got to come with fire or you got to have ice. You cannot come playing games. You got to bring it. Thank you, Keith. This is deal making 101. Next time, y'all need to call me. I told you I'll be in there with stilettos and I will get you a deal like that. You guys don't have a sense of humor. What is wrong with y'all? Wake up. Where's the sense of humor? Tap that screen and follow me. You got to come a member, guys. I'm telling you, I could have closed that deal like that in a pair of stilettos and a corset, and nobody's in my live stream laughing. What is wrong with y'all? Come on now. Where are you? Where are you? Come back. And I'm serious. Y'all think I'm joking. I'm dead ass serious. I'm serious. Did you hear me? That's why you need to sponsor my mind and mouth. Y'all think I'm joking. I am being 2,000% serious with y'all. I would have closed the deal with that. You see, I have the benefit of talking man and acting like a woman. I know how to put both together. So if you want to see the magic of me, I'm going to ask you to tap that screen, follow me, and become a member. Because when you become a member, you can ask me anything you want. And then that's when the real fun begins. Are you still with me? Because I'm almost done. You guys are fried. I fried your brain. Have I fried your brain? Tap that screen. If I fried your brain, tap that screen. Let me know. Let me know. Have I done it again? Have I fried your brain? Huh? Are you with me? Yes? No? I run people off. I'm a bit too much. Okay? All right? And let me tell you this. Trump has announced that he is unlikely to finish deals with 150 countries. Which means everyone's going to get tariffs. That means no matter what you did, you were going to get tariffs. You sat in line. You took it. You just took it. And you know what you got? You got what you did not want. You're going to be stuck with tariffs. And you have to be stuck with the fact that the U.S. president has shunned you. The U.S. president has snubbed you. The U.S. president truly does not value his relationship with you. That sucks. But let me tell you how don't let that happen again. I've said this before and I say this again. As a country, you must know your value. You must know the value that you add in the global economy, the global free trade economy. You must understand the value that your country, the role that your country plays in this global economy. Because when you understand your role, then you can negotiate. A lot of these 150 countries, I don't know what they thought. I don't know if they went back into their toolbox on how to have communication and relationship. Let me tell you something. In the business world, appeasing doesn't work. Appeasing and pleasing, when it comes to money, that's the wrong toolbox. You brought your sensitive humanitarian approach to a game, the money game, where there's a different set of rules. This is a game where you take the gloves off, you crack your knuckles, okay? You flex, you stand, and you get ready to do business. You took the wrong approach with a man that you know he will ram you on principle to see how far he can push you. Because if you let him push you, guess what? You just got knocked on your ass. You don't do that. You must understand, I am negotiating with the U.S. Why am I negotiating with the U.S.? Now, on the surface, you think I'm negotiating with the U.S. because I need that business. I need access to that economy. That's 50% of the picture. The other part of the picture is, why is the U.S. doing business with you? Whoever negotiated your deals basically did not consider the full picture. You cannot do a business deal one-sided. It is a two-way street. It's called yin and yang. So you should have analyzed the U.S. and said, what is the current circumstances of the U.S.? What does the U.S. need? What do I have that will play a critical role in the U.S. getting its economic ass back on the right track? I would have analyzed that. I would have had those factors in my brain. And then I would have sat down and said, look, I wouldn't even called up Trump. Forget all that. I would have said, look, you and I both know your debt has left the universe. You know that. This is what I have to offer you that will help get the U.S. economy back on track. I am not waiting until you have time for me to negotiate these trade talks. Now, what are we doing? That's what I would have done. I don't wait in line. Do I look like I wait in lines? I'm a patient and an impatient woman at the same time. There is no way I'm going to wait the hell in line for you to call me. No. I'm going to catch your attention. I'm going to cut. I'm going to go to the front. You want to know why? Because if it was my country, my economy would have been of the utmost priority. Your economy is basically falling from the sky. Boss moves, exactly. Your economy is falling from the sky. Your employment rate is being impacted because of these tariffs from Trump. Who in the hell waits for the president of the United States to come back to you when you know your GDP is suffering, when you know inflation and unemployment is being impacted? Where in the hell did you come from? No, you would have said ring-a-ding, ring-a-ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling-a-ling, ring-a-ding-a-ling. Yeah. I don't care. We need to talk. This is not happening. If you think this is not happening. I got this. Let's make a deal. I'm not dealing with these tariffs. That's what you should have done. Thank you, Keith. That's what you should have done. You do not let someone punk you economically. Do you understand? You do not let someone punk you economically. I would have came in with blows. Pop, 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 pop. You know you need this. I got this. You know you want this. I got this. Now, what are we doing? You got 10 seconds to make a decision. Otherwise, I'll take it to China. I'll take it to Japan. I'll take it to the Middle East. That's what you need to do. You need to give people some food for thought. You need to show them what they're going to miss. When people think they're not going to miss something, they take you for granted. And that's how I know you don't know your value. Because if you knew your value, you would have left something on Trump's mind that got him thinking, oh, geez, if I don't get this, it's going to go to China. Oh, no, I don't want it to go to China. Okay, let's do a deal. That's what you do. You play games. That's called the money game.
Fuck the mind.
You play with the mind. All you got to say is, look, Trump, don't make me call China. I got President Xi right now on the other line. What we doing? Are you going to make a deal with me? Because China's ready to make a deal. Okay? What you doing? Up. President G gave me a better price. Click. Click. Yes, I said hang up on the U.S. president. That is what you do. You would have got more respect. You would have got more respect, and you would have had more street cred, and you would have also had a trade deal already ironed out if you handled it like a G. Okay? Warrior style, like a G. That's what you should have done. Very simple, guys. So I'm done. I'm done. Okay? I think I ran off a few hundred people today. I'm sorry and not sorry at the same time. You hear me? I've run off of several hundred people. I am sorry, but I'm not sorry. I hope you've enjoyed my live. Please follow me if you enjoyed my live. Okay? Please continue tapping the screen, and I'm going to ask you to sincerely consider becoming a member, supporting my live, supporting my mouth, becoming a sponsor of my mouth so I can get my own HBO show, okay? They'll be okay. I know, Valerie. They'll be back, sweetheart. They will be back. Okay? I'm going to ask you to sincerely consider becoming a monthly member because I want you to be able to ask me anything. When you ask me anything, I mean you can ask me anything. If it's something that I can discuss on my live stream, I will. If I can't discuss your question, I will host a separate Zoom call in which I have no restrictions and I will let it rip. Did you hear me? When you become a monthly member on the link on my profile, you can ask me anything. And I mean anything, business, personal, whatever you can think of, you can ask me. If I can discuss it on my live stream, I will discuss it live. If it's a topic that I cannot discuss on TikTok live without violating community guidelines, I will host a separate Zoom call, and then you will see the magic of me. You have no idea. You will get the full uncensored version of me. So if you want to experience that wild ride, all you got to do is go to the link in my profile, become a monthly member, sponsor my mind and mouth, and I will rock your world. Either I will entertain you, I will have you crying in the corner, or I have you laid out on the floor. You'll be laid out with a chalk line. You choose, okay? Either you'll be laughing, you'll be crying, or I have to draw a chalk mark on the ground because you have fainted. You have fainted and you're trying to find yourself again. Okay, you'll have chalk marks on the floor trying to find yourself. That's what I offer you. So I love y'all. Thank you for the support. Go to the link in my profile and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you again for sitting through my live stream. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Have a good night. Have a good night. Thank you. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a good night. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.